And we're gonna roll in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of A Way with Words, the podcast. It's your girl, Bree Story.
And it's a Tati.
Yes, it is. I just thought about something. Happy November, y'all. Happy November 1st. If you are watching this right now and it is still November 1st. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter. This comes out November 1st. So if you're watching this and you haven't already, go to gaymash.com and check out this month's affirmations and quotes. And happy new month to you. What else?
Okay. We icebreaking?
Sure.
Okay. If we could have any guest in the world on A Way with Words, the podcast, who would you want it to be?
We all want Beyonce here, right? So just say another one.
Now we all want Beyonce here.
I don't think that was going to be my
Oh,
one.
wow, that's crazy to me.
We can't say two, though.
We can't.
Can. You can't
Oh.
say two.
Can't think of
You
one.
have to. Well, I know one.
Go on.
My immediate answer, but this was purely just from like a business. What would get us just hella activity in traffic? Drake. I just immediately thought Drake. For
That could be a
buzz.
fun time. I could see Drake being enjoying like some of the old ways of A Way with Words, the
Like all
podcast, like the
skits
games and like
yeah, that's what like I just
that
feel
would be
like.
cute.
And he's not somebody that really does a lot of interviews. Typically, you don't really like just see him like on talk
those
shows
days
and
are
stuff.
over.
Yeah, he doesn't do that.
So,
Yeah, you don't see. Of course, he's still never gone to the Breakfast Club. So like, we very rarely ever see Drake just sitting down answering questions. So I just feel like
He's never been to the Breakfast Club?
no, because remember Charlamagne so publicly was hating on him for so long,
Damn.
and then when they finally. I don't even know if they necessarily smooth things over, but Drake sent him
Oh,
that
wow.
liquor and said, yeah, but he's never gone there.
Damn, that's actually crazy to think
Yeah,
about.
he's still never been up there.
I ain't gonna either.
So yeah, so I feel like Drake, that would just get a lot of buzz.
For sure.
And now I gotta think about like who I would want because I want them here. But I want Drake too, y'all. But who else I would want just because I want?
as I'm thinking, because that just made me think about just like past ways of A Way with Words, the podcast, just some of our old antics and stuff like that, which I feel like we should always kind of like bring back when we have guests. I would really enjoy to see Megan Thee Stallion in that element.
Yeah, fun.
Just something loose and fun, drinking, eating. Like, I think it would be really, really cute.
Absolutely.
That's happening.
Yeah.
That's happening. And I think from just pick your brain, just want to hear you talk and be in your space standpoint, Jay-Z.
Yeah.
It's always Jay.
Yeah. I can't picture, I don't know. Like, I feel like Beyonce,
She wouldn't have fun with us?
I feel like she's a little, I feel like she's probably so much fun, like in her element but I feel like she's kind of stoic. Like, yeah, I don't feel like it would be like for our style of interviewing and the way that I don't feel like that would be an enjoyable experience. I think it would be very tense.
Other than us just freaking out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But then it's like we also know better than to like stand real heavy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it would just make for a very tense situation of just like, what do we do?
The number's going up, though.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
If it's just like Beyonce sat here while we fucking,
Sat here.
yeah, she just sat here. She's here. Like, look. Yeah, that would be crazy. That would be insane. But yeah, as far as like actually integrating into our style of show, I don't think she would be a good.
Somebody else.
Okay, yeah, you pick somebody else.
Say it later. It's okay.
Why not?
I can't think
Oh,
of
you can't think of anybody. I was like, why not say it?
Okay. So checking in.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, you want me to go first? Okay.
Yep.
Physically, I am feeling.
Mindy. Thank you for doing
Mindy
that.
Kaling. Oh yeah,
That's exactly what I
she
think
would be
of.
so cute and fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
She would be great.
Oh,
She
I
would
love
actually be
that.
So obsessed.
Come to A Way with Words, the podcast,
Yeah,
Mindy.
she would be
We
great.
love you.
I'm a
That'd be so
fan.
good.
Just that is such a Mindy dance. That's so cute. Mindy. Talk about our Mindy, y'all.
Physically,
Yes, that.
I don't really know. Physically, I feel
Not me looking at your body.
I was looking at my body too, but I don't know. Physically, I feel room temperature. Emotionally, I feel joy. My attention is on. My attention is on my new job.
Come on, new job. Send them
What's my other one? Spiritually.
with some sense.
Spiritually, I feel blessed.
Period. Physically, I feel I feel a little hungry. Emotionally, I feel fatigue / joy. My attention is currently on Breeze Giving. Coming soon. I will tell you offline. Look, like I would have to tell you like the address. Like 11/20 is the date of Breeze Giving. Don't do that. We can discuss. It's no invites have been sent yet, so needs may be able to be met. That's my attention. Spiritually, I am feeling submissive.
Okay.
Oh, before we get started, make sure that you go to yamatch.com. We have merch there. We have things that are new, things that are not so new, but all of those things are still good for you. So check them out. Buy them if you want to. Subscribe on yamatch.com to get a weekly newsletter. Make sure that you're subscribed to this podcast, whether you are listening to it audibly or on YouTube. Either way, you should subscribe a couple different places because that's just showing good support, and we appreciate it very much. Also, not to ask a whole lot out of you, but ratings and reviews really go a long way. So please, clickety clack if you feel it in your heart. Only for positive stuff, though. Don't give us any negative reviews, guys. Like, come on. Or if you have anything negative to say, you can put them in my DMs. They're more useful there. Yeah, that's it for now. Thank you. Oh, listen to Your Morning Message, your weekday dose of perspective and intention, everywhere that podcasts are streamed. Ding. Okay. Okay.
So, this topic is giving me like, I'm going to call it dress for sex.
Dressed for sex?
Dress for sex. With a question mark, though. So, there was this post that Tamar Braxton had posted a while back. This was a while ago.
Hi, Tamar.
And it just sparked an idea in my head. She said...
She would be a good guest. She would be a great guest. Okay.
It says, while you out here looking like you at home, anything worth having is worth an effort. Comb your hair, dust your face, and present yourself like a lady in that you are ready. And then she's also referring to herself too. She's not just talking about...
Okay.
She's not just
she's not Moniquing us.
Yeah, she's not just calling out women. Like, she's referencing herself too, because she's also saying that she's a sweatsuit queen. And like what she was saying, she said, put some clothes on, show them what you working with. She said, we say take me as I am is sometimes taken out of context. You want to dress for success, but not be dressed for your spouse. She said, yeah, no, success is success. So of course it made me think of this whole idea of what I took from that was them trying to say that the way you prep for anything else, prep for getting a man or getting a relationship, and you should be dressing or presenting yourself in a way that is going to bring that love, interest, or whatever you're looking for to you. So we've touched on this a long time ago about the whole... in the professional world, like code switching or changing up the way we talk and stuff because we're trying to be quote unquote professional or whatever it is. So do you believe in changing yourself or changing your mindset? Doesn't necessarily have to be appearance, but do you believe that you need to change or make sense to change things about yourself to obtain certain goals?
Yes. I think that I tend to believe that doing what you've always done will give you what you've always gotten. So once you do shift mindset, when you decide and like definitively decide, because I think a lot of us have goals that are not pinned down. It's just like, oh, I want to have a house by this time, or I want like, but there's no like real like, this is part of my life plan. By this time, I want to do this. Because once you make those types of goals and you make them definitive, then you don't really have a choice but to change. You have to start figuring out, what am I doing now that needs to be different in order for me to get there? Or what am I doing that I need to optimize in order to get there? Or what do I need to take out of my routine in order to get there? So yeah, I don't think you have a choice in that matter once you have a definitive goal.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of the change that I know I focus on a lot in myself is always about mindset, or the way that I'm thinking about a situation. Because like you said, you can have all these goals, and I can say, you know, oh, I want to publish a book. I want to have a book published at some point in my life. But there are so many small things that come before that.
Yep.
And you have to do those things before you can even get to that goal. So learning all the 6 and 5 steps that come before that, I feel like are just as crucial
Yes.
as your big goal. And that takes a lot of focus, and it takes a lot of your attention. And you really have to buckle down on yourself to usually accomplish those things. But do you have the same outlook when it comes to appearance? When it comes to hair, clothes, or makeup? Do you think that plays a role?
I can only speak for myself. I think that everybody is different, so I think that everybody should do things in the way that works for them. But I think that what matters most is feeling your best. And I think a lot of people, not all people, if you are a person who can, you know, wear a messy bun for 4 weeks and feel really good and be really happy, then by all means, you don't need to change shit. If it's not dress code related, you know, like you don't have to do anything that you don't want to if nothing is wrong. But for me, as a person who's always kind of rejected the whole appearance thing, like I've always hated this like dress to impress mentality, or like being judged by how you look or how you're dressed. Like I've always really rejected that, and kind of would in my younger years like kind of go out of my way to not look nice just to kind of prove a point to the abyss, I guess. But as I grew older and I started to understand just routine, and I started to understand parts of my routine that contributed to me feeling my best, those days when I get up, I work out, I'm up early, I'm in the gym, I'm meditating. Usually by the time I do those things, I feel like doing my hair, and I feel like, oh, let me put on some mascara, or let me like throw a little thing, like even if I am just on Zoom all day or whatever. When I feel like doing those things tend to make me feel good. And when you feel good, usually it makes for good days, it makes for good decisions, it makes for just a high frequency experience, which I think we all want.
I feel like there is a very fine line between wanting to be yourself and being comfortable and have the ability to just, you know, be you and not feel like pressures of what other people want you to look like. But then also at the same time, I do believe that there is a certain level of being presentable, or being, because I don't like, we've talked about, I don't know if we've talked about, but I've talked about it with someone before, where they talked about they were like meeting like their nephew's girlfriend or something for like the first time, and like she came over the house and like a bonnet and like pajamas and just and being like, and then being so like kind of like taken aback, like yeah. This is the way like you're presenting, you know, like yourself to me for the first time. And it's like, and it's moments like that when I feel like it's like you're walking, like you're treading a line, because it's like I never want to be the type of person that's trying to say, oh, you better do this, or you better do that, or you can't walk out the house like this, or you can't walk like that. But at the same time, I am also a person that does believe in a certain amount of, you should at least have on clothes. Like, I don't believe that going into someone else's home, like, you gotta come in pajamas, or, you know, like I do, and I don't know where the line is, though. Like, right. I don't know what the exact formula is. I just know that there are times when I see certain things that I can kind of be like, oh, that was too far. or that was too much.
Yeah. So personally, for me, when it comes to stuff like that, if I was to advise, particularly a young woman, I would be advising them based off of other people, because I personally don't feel like that has to, like, I think that we live in a society, and a lot of us were brought up, my mother included, brought me up a certain way as far as like looking presentable and looking your best and presenting yourself in a certain way. And I don't feel like if my nephew or my cousin brings their girlfriend over to meet me for the first time, she has on a bonnet and pajamas, I don't feel like that has to mean anything about her. And I think that that's where a lot of people take it. A lot of people take it to either they personalize it. They say like, oh, this girl must not care about him or have enough respect for him to come around his family a certain way. Like they have to make it mean something instead of it simply being, oh, she came over here and she had on pajamas and a bonnet. You know what I'm saying? So if I was to advise a young woman, I would say, don't do stuff like that based on that. But if you were to come to my house, I'm not going to make that mean anything about you, because it doesn't. It just is what it is. You continue to get to know people, and the guy who came over in the 3-piece suit be beating her ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've learned things about people over the course of your connection with them. So, like, I don't feel like that has to mean anything about them. But I would tell her, like, yeah, maybe don't do that, because most people don't think that way. Most people are going to be like, oh, you don't respect yourself, or you don't respect us, or you don't respect, this process, this courting process or whatever. And so I would be like, yeah, put on a nice blouse.
Just clothes.
Yeah,
it's not even specific.
Depending on who it is, though, because if it was like me or my brother going to my great grandmother's house, I'm gonna tell my nigga to have on a button up at least. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because she's fucking old and she's gonna, and just for the fact of not hearing her mouth. Like, next time I see her, I'd be like, I can't believe you brought that hoodlum over here. And this nigga ain't have on nothing but jeans and you know what I'm saying? Like,
and that type of stuff,
she's old as
I
fuck.
wouldn't care about. Like that, I would care as far as being like,
yeah,
when I come pick you up, don't have on your pajama bottoms
or
whatever, but as long as you are clean,
right?
Like if you are clean and you are showered and you have on clothes and there's no profanity on your t-shirt,
yeah,
whatever anybody else is thinking, oh, that's kind of like on them. Because I'm not stepping out.
But also, that's why I mean, like, I'm gonna hold people to the same standard that I hold myself.
Right.
So when I go to my great grandmother's house, I do dress a certain way. Like, I just do. So I'm not gonna like send my nigga off and he in his jersey and shit, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, I wore my dress today because my great grandmother's kind of formal. Like, I'm not gonna send you off. So yeah.
Talk about, isn't that annoying?
Yes.
So with all that being said, I feel like, going back to the post that I read from Tamar, I think that we think a lot about that always when it comes to the professional settings. But I don't think I ever necessarily thought about it that specific when it comes to romantic goals. Like wanting a man or wanting a relationship. So sitting there thinking to myself one day, like, you know what? Like, I'm about to just start dressing up every day, or I'm about to, start doing all this extra stuff. Like, do you feel like it's different? Like, if you heard one of your friends say, oh, putting all this effort into what they wanted to wear to an interview, and then putting all this effort into what they wanted to wear because they were going, like, to a bar and they want to make sure that they attract like a nigga. Like, do you view those things any differently, or do you feel like it's the same?
I think it is the same, because I think that it is fueled ultimately in how you are choosing to be judged. Like, all of us are going to be judged to a certain extent, and I think that's something that, like, quietly we all accept. But there's a certain amount of choosing how we're going to be judged, like kind of having this foolproof, like, yeah, if I got on like this pencil skirt and this blazer and stuff and I go into an office, I'm choosing that you're judging me as your professional equal. Like, I made that choice on purpose. So, like, same, I'm gonna put these titties all the way up to my fucking chin when I go out to the hot spot, because my homegirl said, girl, it be niggas in here Thursday nights. They be in here. I'm gonna be like, okay, well, let me put on my fucking best. And my best for that is definitely different than my best for work.
Right.
But it's ultimately for the same reason. It's because I want you to judge me as you're equal in this way. You can approach me. You can talk to me. That is, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like people that I am attracted to, people that I want to attract in that way. Not everybody, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I want it to look like, yeah, like I came here for attention. Give me some.
I feel like dressing for attention from the opposite sex or whatever sex that you want to attract, I feel like
All the sexes.
I feel like it's something that we all do,
Yeah.
but
Quietly.
reading it the way
You
it's
don't say
not
that.
something. Yeah, it's not something that you typically hear that blatantly.
Yeah.
And I think that when you do, at least in settings that I've been in, or like watching TV or anything, usually when you do hear someone say something so like, I'm going to hope that I look good for a nigga today, it's always kind of like a, you know, it's kind
Ew,
of like,
girl.
what's wrong with you? Like that
We're all
was your
doing
priority for the night, you know? It's
Yeah.
you know, I think that at least I tell myself, I would like to think that anything that I'm doing is always like for myself or for, you know, I like to look good, or I like these things. I like going into spaces and feeling like I'm up to par, like at the standard, and it's not, and then it's like, oh, and then if I so happen to attract somebody afterwards, like, you know, it just so happens. But I don't think, and that's not to say that I don't dress up for men, but I've just never, I don't think I've ever thought of it in such a,
Yeah, not consciously, like subconsciously.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, like you look at yourself and you're like, I definitely look good enough for a nigga to, you know, hit me up.
yeah. Do you?
Yeah.
Can you think of a time in your life where you feel like you made a change to your appearance or even like mindset, like otherwise, for a partner?
No.
No, or not even to attract a partner or anything like. And then did it work? And then later were you like, that was a waste of time?
So for me, on a personal level, everything comes down to me having a very close relationship and understanding of my frequency, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm on a high frequency and I feel really, really good, everything is going to feel good, like for the most part, unless something catastrophic happens. My connections, my conversations, I'm going to be more upbeat. I'm going to be more enthusiastic. So anything that I do for the purpose of that is going to naturally reflect in everything else. So if I had a man or a partner at the time and I decided, like, when I got really, like, for instance, I got really into lingerie on my own, like by myself. Mm-hmm. But I absolutely began to incorporate that in my partnerships because when I'm by myself, this makes me feel really good. I'm going to have a better experience with you if I feel really good. Mm-hmm. So not necessarily like, I think my nigga would like this or I think my partner would like this, so let me do this. But I know that I am a better partner and a better friend, better everything when I feel good. Mm-hmm. So I can't really think of a time where I've changed anything or done anything for a partner, but I do shit like that all the time just so that I'm on a higher frequency. And then as a result, my experiences with other people are better.
Sophomore year of college, I feel like me and friend of the show, Dana LeRae, we intentionally, I feel like, did exactly what Tamar was talking about, where we specifically, we was like going through this time, y'all. We was literally like sitting around like, we not talking to nobody. We was like, there were no boys in sight. Nobody was like worried about us, trying to talk to us, no nothing. And we was like, you know what? Because I do not enjoy getting dressed. I mean, I like getting dressed, but my regular self, especially when I was in college, was hoodies and sweatpants every single day.
Yeah.
I was very rarely taking the time out to really put an outfit together throughout my days. So we had decided, like, you know what? For a whole, like, 2 weeks, we're going to get dressed every day. We're going to put on an outfit, like a nice outfit. We're going to make sure our hair is done. We might put on a little bit of makeup. Like, we were going to do the things for 2 weeks straight just to see if it would make a difference.
I don't even know if I have that many outfits. That's crazy. 14?
Not 14. But it's not like, but the bottoms, things are getting incorporated.
Sure.
It's not
for
like
sure.
literally 14 specifically. different
Yeah, in
pieces.
my mind, I'm like,
That's a sick.
Especially back then. Now I could probably pull that off. But back then, I definitely didn't have 14.
I just went down from there.
I definitely didn't have 14 outfits. But did it. Didn't change a thing.
Yeah, but you felt good, no?
Nothing.
Did you feel good?
I didn't because
That's probably
it
why I
wasn't
didn't change
for me.
anything.
But it was
Yep,
because
yep.
it had nothing to do with me deciding, you know what, girl, like I want to look cute every day or I want to do this every day. Because it was literally out of
Let's see who
out of
talks to
yeah,
us.
let's see who'll look at me.
That's-
And then,
that's such a college thing. That's so cute.
Afterwards, I felt so dumb. I felt like it was the dumb. I felt like it was the dumbest decision I had ever made in my life.
Yeah. Well,
It was, yeah, I completely regretted it. I was like, so I spent all this time getting in the mirror, all this extra time in the morning. I was missing out on sleep. Had to take off makeup at night. And it was just a complete waste of energy and time because it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Now, I would do all these things. I would continue to do all those same things I was doing for myself all the time. And it didn't matter. I never thought anything about it. But those 2 weeks, it was a low 2 weeks, guys. I definitely regret it. And I think that's why I kind of have mixed feelings about the post that Tamar posted. Because while I get it, like I get what she's saying. Like
Yeah.
I get it. I feel like it's all on that same kind of frequency of like what was Sierra's prayer and like what was this, just this whole about like getting your mindset ready for the things that you're asking for. But I feel like
Here's what they're not saying.
ultimately what you're asking for should be someone who's into you, like how you carry yourself on a daily basis and how you come to things, how you come to the event. Like if this is who you are, I feel like stepping outside of that and forcing yourself to
Right.
do something else, I feel like is for one not sustainable.
Doesn't
Because
make
it was
sense.
never something that you wanted to do. So at some point, you're going to get sick of it.
Yeah.
And then that connection is not going to be all the way genuine because I feel like when you do slip or revert back to what you were doing before, then your partner might look at you like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, this is not, like, this isn't what I got into this for.
Your motivation should never be outside of yourself. I
Yeah.
don't think.
No.
If that works for you, because there's an exception to every rule. But I think the rule should be you should not do anything that is solely for the purpose of another person, another thing, like outside of you. Everything should be for the purpose of you feeling good, because once you crack that code and you have a way to consistently do that, everything else is a fucking cakewalk. You know what I'm saying? When you find satisfaction with and for yourself, by yourself, everything else is just it's just gonna flow that much more easily. And so like, I like what she's saying because it's I think that things get a little trickier when you get in partnership, because you shouldn't want to, like, my job is to make myself feel good. Your job is to make yourself feel good, but we also should not be complacent in the ways in which we might be fucking up each other's flow. You know what I'm saying? So like, if I do want to be enthusiastic with you. I do want to have effort and like have a good time, as opposed to doing anything that's going to fuck up the flow of what you've already set for yourself and vice versa. So I do kind of like the idea of like, yeah, once you have somebody, like, do the things, like date still, court each other, like
Right.
seduce each other, like be cute and all that stuff. But like, if you're only doing it for that person and for the purpose of pleasing somebody else, that's stupid. I want to do shit for you that makes me feel good. Like we were just talking about how we love tricking our niggas here at Away with Words, the podcast. It brings us much joy. And do you think
It's a real problem, y'all.
do you think that I would
problem.
spend money on any of these like, you know, never mind. Let me not act like somebody that I listen to. You think I would spend a dime on anybody if it didn't bring me any joy? Like, if it didn't bring me any joy and it was only deplete, and that's the thing that people, I'm not going to get too Abraham Hicks on y'all, but like, money is also energy. So if you're spending money and it doesn't feel good, if you're like, oh, I'm in this relationship and like Valentine's Day is coming up, I'm obligated to get this person a gift now. If you're going into it with that, you're losing money and you're losing that energy and you're repelling that energy. That shit is not going to come back to you. Like, you're just going to put yourself in a sad ass situation all around. You're giving somebody a gift that's tainted with your fucking sick ass badass energy, and you're not getting that fucking money back more than likely because you're repelling that away as well. Like, I give freely because that shit feels really good to me. It makes me very excited, especially when I get my Tati on and I get something that's like extremely obscure. Like, you told me one time that you like this thing. Like, I love shit like that. But if I didn't feel good about it, that would be a waste of my fucking energy. That would be a terrible thing to do, to just spend all my money on somebody.
Yeah, and I feel like, and to your point, like, even people that say if they've gone their whole life and they've always been a person that they don't celebrate holidays. They've never given past girlfriends gifts for Christmas or birthdays or Valentine's Days or whatever. They've always just been like, no, that's just stupid. And then somebody started telling them, like, if you want a relationship, like, you're gonna have to start spending some money. And so then, like you just said, they start being like, fine, and they start buying like, it's still not that.
Yeah.
It's still not,
because if you don't find joy in it, it's
you
not worth
have
it.
to, if you want to make this so-called change, or like Tamar was talking about, if you've been laying in the bed watching TV and watching life pass you by for all this time, and you just laying there thinking like, man, you know, like, it'd be really nice if I had a nigga, and I need to like get out and start like meeting people. And if you get like, you have to give yourself first, I feel like, the energy of you wanting the change, and you wanting to invest your time and energy into being like, I want to be a different person.
Yeah.
And then once I am a different person, then hopefully I'm gonna attract what I've been missing or whatever. But I definitely don't think that you should just start doing something for the sake of doing something. Just throwing Hail Marys. Like, let's just see what happens then. Like, I put these fucking heels on. Like, let's see if niggas just start falling at my feet like they do in the rap videos. Like, I don't think that makes any sense at all.
I don't either. Yeah, like, I wear lingerie for these niggas because I wear lingerie for myself. And that makes me feel good. It makes me feel sexy. Y'all see, I be on Instagram in front of my ring light. Don't nobody take those pictures. When them pictures that I be taking at my house in lingerie, I'm taking those pictures because I'm having a good time. It's me and probably a cartoon on and a glass of wine. And I just so happen to have my titties up to my fucking chin, and I am having a blast.
And I don't wear lingerie a lot, but if I had a nigga that was like, I really like lingerie, then I would see nothing, like, because that goes back to, it would bring me joy.
It would bring me joy to bring you joy.
To bring you joy. Yeah, and it's not like I fucking hate lingerie.
Right.
Like,
and that's the thing, like, it would be different if they asked you for something that you genuinely are like, this is a hard fucking no. Then no, it's not going to bring me joy to bring you joy. But if it's something that I'm neutral about, if you just like, if you're like, damn, babe, I really love it when your toes are pink. I'm like, I can do that. That's not going to fucking kill me. Like, Jesus, people be
But what would
dying on the
actually,
wrong
like,
kills.
specifically when Tamar was talking about, like, being, like, sweatpants queen or whatever, what would actually I couldn't fold on, though, was if I did meet a nigga that was kind of just like, I'm really not into you in these sweatpants all the time.
Loungewear.
Like, yeah, like, I'm going to need you to, like, can you, like,
Step
dress
it
up
up.
more for me? And I'll be like... Like, that might be a deal breaker, guys.
Yeah, like special occasions and stuff, but you can't hate what I do on a regular day.
Like, my everyday, but you have some women that I feel like, not saying that maybe Tamar may not necessarily be that woman, but there are some women that view that would be like, yeah, like, that makes absolute fucking sense. Like, your man might want to see, like, you know, like, you're not supposed to walk around in a hoodie and sweatpants every day.
I'm about to tell my family's business really, really quick. And just for the purpose of telling y'all that it does not fucking matter if you don't feel good. My great-grandmother, my mother tells me, when my mom was little, my great-grandmother never left her room until she was in a full outfit and a full face of makeup and her hair was done. She didn't leave her bedroom in the morning. So nobody in that house, aside from her husband who woke up alongside her, saw her until she was all the way dressed. And when they would ask her about this, she would say the same thing as a lot of her elders and her peers, which is like, you have to be polished for your husband and you have to da-da-da-da for your husband. However, she never cooked. She didn't clean a thing. She didn't lift a fucking finger. And my grandfather catered to her, bought her shit. She always had a brand new car, all of this stuff. But my great-grandfather would get drunk. And when those drunk words come out, those sober thoughts come out as drunk words, then you will see this bitch get on my fucking nerves. You know what I'm saying? That's not making your relationship any better because your nigga never sees you and you're always prim and proper. But like also if other needs are being fulfilled and y'all aren't seeing eye to eye, that's not making your relationship no better. At all. So like, yes, you look like Lucille Ball every fucking day and you look glamorous and gorgeous and that's amazing. But if it doesn't make you feel, if you're still being a bitch, a stone cold bitch to your husband and all he does is kiss the fucking ground you walk on, you're still a bitch. It doesn't make you any less of a bitch just because your hair is in pin curls.
And when you first started to say man, like I was like, okay, bad bitch, because it's
still
like,
a bad bitch.
You know, because if you like
still
it, I
bitch.
love it. I love women that is them. I'm like, you're not gonna see me unless I am dressed to the nines, head.
But it was for her.
Yeah, so
it was because
cool.
Yeah, it was because she was taught that you have to be to the fucking nine, not only for your husband, but as a representative for your husband. Like, your husband shouldn't present you to anyone and you not be whatever. But at the end of the day, that didn't keep them from disliking each other sometimes.
And I think that I like that. I feel like this is a good place for us to end it. But, you have some thoughts, but I feel like that is what makes the difference, in my mind, I think, between dressing a certain way for professional stuff versus dressing a certain way for like romantic stuff. Because my professional stuff, it is work, and like I don't care as much maybe, but that's just me. But I don't want to feel like I'm doing actual work or doing something that's outside of me for my personal life. For my personal, I come home, this is supposed to be my peace, and I'm still putting on a show. I'm still doing something that doesn't come natural to me. I don't want to do it at work either. Like I'm not into that shit either, but I feel like it would be way easier for me to compartmentalize that and being like,
I got so fucking lucky because I did not get dressed for work ever. But that's a different story.
And I don't now. Now I don't have to. I mean, now do I get dressed as far as like the rules that I just laid down earlier about just being clean? About just being clean, and I'm not
coming in my pajamas, but I wasn't. You wasn't putting me in no slacks or no blazer. Like, girl, get over yourself.
No. Yeah. So no, I don't. Yeah, I don't get dressed either. No. But I think that's all about to change. So it's gonna be very strange.
Teacher lady.
Yeah.
Well, we congratulate you, and we are so excited for you. And all of the parents whose children will be in your classroom are going to be so thankful because you're so amazing. And that's fun. This was a good conversation. If you have anything to add to it, any objections, if you hate everything that we said, please let us know. Hit us up. Or no, I shouldn't put that out there. If you loved everything that we said, or if you want to oppose anything or have a good discourse and conversation, you can hit us up at askawaywithwords@gmail.com. You can also hit us at Away with Words, the podcast, on Instagram. You can find me there at Bree.stories and at Bree_stories on Twitter. And you can follow at A_Tati on Instagram and at Hey Tati on Twitter. And please follow at MJMKid and at Moments_Stu because you just should. It's cute stuff over there. And again, happy new month. And we hope that this month is prosperous and loving and light and fun. I know the holidays are coming. Everybody bear with yourselves. Give yourself grace. It's okay. Breathe. You're good. Drink. Smoke. Do whatever you got to do. Also, just love yourselves and give yourself some patience and some kindness. We'll talk to y'all next week. Everybody say bye.
Bye.